All right, we'll see how soon we see Ben Simmons in a Nets uniform and on the basketball court for the first time since last season. But yesterday we got a chance to hear from Ben Simmons. No sources, no people close to Ben Simmons, but Simmons from his own mouth for the first time since June, I believe it was. Michael, we talked a lot about Ben Simmons, a lot. We've had some very deep, very passionate conversations about Ben Simmons.
Yes, we have.
And I know at one point you acknowledged that you were struggling with believing his mental health explanation for why he was away from the team. I wonder, after hearing from him yesterday, and he spoke pretty candidly. Well, he didn't get specific about what he was dealing with, but he did reference that it was more than just the trade. And I think one question to him was, what do you say to the people who are skeptical that, you just sat out with mental health issues just to force a trade? He said, those people should just be happy I'm smiling. I've been through some dark times. That stood out to me. That was one of the most powerful quotes from yesterday's press conference. What was your biggest takeaway, and where are you now in terms of how you view Ben Simmons now that he's been traded and now that he's spoken on his own behalf?
Oh, Mike, I wish you hadn't asked me that question. Because it forces me.
I'm glad I did then.
It forces me to go some places that you don't talk about at parties, okay? It forces me to really sound like a bad person. But I'm gonna go there, because I decided to keep it 100 and take it from there. Who am I? Who am I to imply that Ben Simmons
that you lack ability?
ability. Okay. Yeah.
Never a bad time for a Black Thought quote.
Yeah, but he just came off as so well coached to me. Is that wrong? Is that wrong for me to say he sounded well coached?
Your opinion.
Mm-hmm. Because if it's not about the money and it's more about mental health and $19 million, I don't know what happens to that $19 million, right? Is that in question? Can that still be appealed? Did Philadelphia, was that a condition of the trade? I don't know. Maybe I haven't read closely enough. But I still go back to the money. And the problem might be mine and not Ben Simmons's. It might be my problem. But I didn't really feel it in my chest when I heard him talking. I didn't get feels, I didn't get goosebumps. It didn't make me reconsider. And as a matter of fact,
let me stop you right there. Yeah. What could or should he have said that would have made you, like you said, feel it in your chest? Or how even?
I don't know. It's just, I guess you know it when you see it. You know it when you hear it. It might be, I need to make it clear. He might be telling you everything that you need to know. It could be his personality. I've never interviewed Ben Simmons. So maybe for those who have followed him closely, they're like, man, this is a breakthrough. Ben Simmons never talks like this. You tripping. Okay, maybe. But I guess for me, I'm so stuck on the other stuff that I can't get to what he's saying about mental health. All right, like what he's saying about mental health. Sure. Other stuff is, so was that why you passed up the dunk? Is that crass? Mm-hmm. Is that why you don't shoot? You have open shots. How about Joel Embiid saying it was annoying? Your situation was annoying. Did that affect your mental health? Was that a part of it? Did Philadelphia, did your teammates contribute? I mean, there's so many questions that, and so many answers that he can really get to that kind of prevent me from hearing the other stuff. And I know if you're not following sports and you're a mental health advocate, you say, you know what, Michael Holley, you are the problem. People like you are the problem. All you want to talk about is the games, and these are real life things. But we're talking about mental health has gotten more of a platform because professional athletes are talking about it. So you can't separate one from the other. It's like, oh, let's talk about your mental health and not talk about what you do in your profession and how it affects your profession. How did that affect him? Is that why? Is that why he? Is that why he does certain things on the court? Is that why he exhibits certain behaviors? Because of mental health, or was it just I want it out of Philly, and the only way I can get out of Philly and hold on to my money is to say that I have some mental health issues? Now, just tell me that I'm a terrible person. I can deal with it. Go ahead. I shouldn't be thinking that way, but I'm thinking that way.
So to put it bluntly, you still feel like Ben Simmons is full of shit, and I don't think that you're alone. As a matter of fact,
that's very
that's
really well said. That's well phrased. That's well phrased.
Get right to the point. No, and then listen, I'm certainly not saying you took a long time. Far be it from me to say it took you a while to get there. That would be a glass house throwing bricks right there. No, I just mean that's what we're talking about here. And I think, Michael, I'd venture to say I haven't done any kind of polls. I'd venture to say you are not only are you not in the minority. I think probably definitely most people in Philadelphia agree with you. I would say your skepticism is warranted. But I believe that more than one thing can be true. And I think maybe the basketball situation compounded or exacerbated a situation to which we're not privy. So let's start with this. What's Ben Simmons' baseline? Like, who is Ben Simmons? How is he wired? You know,
that's a good question.
You know, like what is it that, you know, how does he operate? You know what I mean? So you have to, without knowing that, and without knowing whether he's been diagnosed, whether he sought therapy, it's just, I think it's unfair. And listen, I understand that you felt like it was unfair and disrespectful to people who are struggling in this big tent. It's such a broad, nebulous phrase at this point, but this big tent known as mental health. People who are struggling with those issues, you felt like it was doing them a disservice. And I agree with you. If he is using that as a convenient excuse to keep his money and to not play and to not honor his contract, that does do a disservice to those who are actually struggling with mental, emotional, and psychological issues. It's also unfair to not take him at his word. I feel like if we're going to evolve, if we're going to grow, if we're going to mature as a society and an industry, when it comes to discussing this issue, we got to be consistent, man. We got to be consistent.
How?
And you're talking to somebody, you know this. Why not? That's our choice to be consistent. And by consistent, I mean.
What do you mean? Yeah.
So,
explain it. Okay.
So, for example, when it comes to, all right, just a lot, like I want to make this clear. I'm just using this is the example that comes to mind. I'm not saying it's the same, but when it comes to sexual assault and rape, we have gotten to a point where we believe victims, we believe women, for the most part. It's not an absolute thing. We've gotten better in that area. I'm not saying that everybody who cries mental health is telling the truth, but I feel like who are we? Going back to your quote, Black Thought quote earlier, who are we to say he's lying? Because does he owe us a therapy session? And Michael, this is what I was gonna say. You're talking to somebody, you know this, but for people that may not have gone and watched all of our YouTube videos and all of our conversations, people that might be new to this here party, you are talking to somebody who has been as hard on Ben Simmons as anybody in media. I'll take the Pepsi Challenge any day of the week when it comes to going at Ben Simmons ever since he put forth that dreadful performance against Atlanta. But I'm also reasonable enough to say,
I've been easy on him. I've actually,
relatively speaking, relatively speaking, you've been fair, but relatively speaking, but you criticize him too. I don't mean to say you didn't criticize him, but you've been more like, damn, Mike, is it personal with you and Ben Simmons? Like, I'm like, no, I don't know the dude. I got nothing against him. I never met him. I'm like, I don't have any skin in this game. But I'm also reasonable enough to realize that maybe there is something, you know, that we don't know about what makes him tick or doesn't tick. Maybe there's something that he was going through off the court in his life that the Sixers situation, again, compounded and exacerbated. One thing I know from personal experience, and I've had my own undiagnosed emotional and mental struggles. I told you I'm a bigger procrastinator than anything, and I promise to go see a therapist tomorrow, okay? But I have struggled myself in that area in ways that maybe I don't even realize. But what I do know from experience is that you can't heal where you got sick. And so it would be unfortunate. I'll wrap it up by saying this, bro. It would be unfortunate if Ben Simmons just said the only thing he could say. He couldn't sit up there and say, I had you going there, didn't I? Y'all thought, like, yo, I mean, he couldn't. Right. If the truth is that he was lying about mental health, he can't say that. So what else is he going to say in these circumstances? But I would say, what else should he have to say? Does he owe us a deeper explanation? Does he owe us is that press conference, is that podium a couch? And does he owe us going into great detail? Right. So I would rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather be wrong about this than right, but be on the wrong side of this issue.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. History will determine, and I'll deal with it. I'll deal with whatever history reveals. But right now, I'm looking at that cliche intersection. Don't you get so tired of people talking about that? Oh, the intersection. We want to delve into the intersection of sports and culture. Hey, welcome to the party, y'all. We've been doing this, and we've been talking about this for a long time. And I'm talking about you, four-letter network especially. Welcome. Thank you. We tried to tell you a long time ago you didn't want to hear it. You wanted to stick to sports. Now you want to be on the intersection. You want to be on the intersection
I'm gonna go
now.
Ahead.
But we've been.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk that. Yeah. You go ahead. Yeah. I'm gonna let you have that one.
Let me cook on this. Let me cook on this. Excuse me. But anyway,
I'll let you do that.
As we stand on this intersection, I will say to you, Ben Simmons doesn't owe me anything. As a matter of fact, if I want to just kind of stop evolving, and I just want to. I want to be like Doctor Strange and kind of mess with the timeline and just keep
that
it
new
right
trailer
here.
Is fire.
Ooh, Doctor Strange, you know that's my dude. I hear you hating Jason Johnson. Great movie, Doctor Strange, the original, and then looking forward to the new one. But if I want to be just in my moment, I'd say, okay, Ben, you do you. You don't owe me any explanation, and I just want to talk about how you got here. Mm-hmm. So we both win. He talks about mental health. I kind of let him talk about it, ask no questions, and then just go back to, man, this dude, since the end of Game 7 against the Atlanta Hawks to now, has missed everything, and now he's talking about he's excited to. It's going to be scary.
All of a sudden, he's ready to play. All of a sudden,
he's ready to play. Okay,
he has touched the hem of his garment. I'm right. That's why you're like, hold on,
that's why people
dog.
like me are skeptical. All right, we ain't got to talk about mental health.
But this is what I said. This is what I said when it first happened. This is why you're not a bad person. You're an honest person, and I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your candor on this topic. At the very beginning, I was like, eventually you got to play basketball again somewhere. And it's like, you don't even have to be a Sixers fan to have a vested interest in this story. If he struggles in Brooklyn, he's going to hear it. On the road, in any city USA, he's going to hear it. Like, wherever he goes, he is going to have to face the professional pressures of being such a gifted basketball player. He's going to be self-checked, and somebody's going to say, okay, you've been in the gym, let's see what you got. Okay, we're going to see what happens in the big moments. So he couldn't avoid this forever unless he was going to retire. So I understand why you would sit up here and say, oh, okay, you're feeling pretty good now, ain't you? I get that. But I do believe that there could be something intrinsic to who he is and something that's going on in his personal life. I guess I'm just not, and maybe I'm naive, man. And between the two of us, I'm the more naive. I would say I'm the more naive between the two of us. I'm the more glass half full guy between the two of us.
No, that's not true.
You don't think so?
No.
In general?
No.
In general, I'm the nicer one. I am definitely the nicer Michael between the two of us. I'm the nice guy.
I thought that.
You're the a-hole.
But not the.
No? Not that you got to see me every day behind the scenes. Like, this dude ain't what I thought he was. Okay. All I'm saying is I don't think you're a bad person for questioning the legitimacy of his claims. I just think if we're trying to be better, I think it starts with respecting people at their word. I know I was just happy to see dudes smiling on the sideline. And if he talked about, maybe it's because it resonated with me, because he talked about dark moments. I have had dark moments over the last 4 or 5 years that the only person that really knows the depths of those moments is the person I sleep with every night. you know, and a few other people maybe. So I guess maybe it resonated with me. It hit different for me. Maybe that's why I'm more inclined, despite it looking like a duck, walking like a duck, and quacking like a duck, and that duck being bullshit. I mean, it's like the math ain't mathing, as they say. So I hear you, but I just don't want to get in the habit of saying, I don't believe you need more people.
That's true.
When he might be going through something that we don't know.
I think that is fair, not to get in that habit. But did I say this to you before? You know, all that being said, did I tell you that I thought, that I think, I should say, active, not passive, that I think Brooklyn won the trade?
You did. You told me when we went to SoFi Stadium. That emergency recording we did at SoFi, you said it. I don't know if you said it on Monday's show before I traveled back from LA yesterday. I think it's the better fit. The better player is Harden, but the better fit is what Brooklyn acquired between him, Seth Curry. We'll see how the Andre Drummond fit works when Simmons is on the floor. But nonetheless, I would agree that but it's good for both. And we'll dive into Harden. We'll dive into Harden next. But I guess I would just say, look. They made up for some losses too. They made up for some losses. Yes. It was with the draft picks. Some capital. Yeah, they did all right. Look, did he go about it in the most mature way, in the traditional way? Is there a part of me that thinks, man, just toughen up? I remember I said at the beginning, Doc and Embiid ain't do nothing wrong. All they did was tell the truth. They kept it a buck. Do you think he could be a championship point guard? I don't know. How the hell could you know? What is he supposed to say in that situation? You know? I've never tried to pamper Ben Simmons, but I'm trying to thread this needle, bro. You know?
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.